Covert operations are a big part of war in the 21st century, and the role of special forces in the war against ISIS in Syria and Iraq is known to everyone. But special forces are not something new. They have been around for a long time. Since ancient times, armies have kept battalions of highly trained elite troops to do only the most dangerous and specialized tasks. From the impenetrable spear walls of the immortals to the swordsmanship of the sacred band of Thebes, here are the 5 most extraordinary elite military units from the medieval era. Hello and welcome to our channel. Before starting our video, don't forget to smash the subscribe button and click the notification bell for more amazing content. So let's get this video started. Number 5. Of Love and War. The Sacred Band of Thebes may have been one of the best-known elite units in ancient Greece. The legendary army was put together by the Theban general Gorgidas in 378 BCE. The legendary army was made up exclusively of 150 same-sex couples. The best warriors from the city-state were the only ones who were asked to join. According to regimental tradition, junior inductees were romantically paired with more seasoned fighters. It was thought that once a couple was bonded, they would fight much harder to protect each other in battle, whereas individual heterosexual spearmen were likely to forsake their squad mates if things became desperate. Plato wrote in his treatise Symposium about the famous Theban hoplites, who would desert his beloved or fail him in the hour of danger. In addition to fighting as a group, members of the sacred band were often sent to the front of regular phalanxes to boost the morale of regular soldiers. It seemed to work because Thebes beat Sparta's armies in a number of battles in the middle of the 4th century BCE. The band was eventually wiped out by the Macedonians in 338 BCE at the Battle of Chaeronea. Number 4. Going berserk. Most people who lived in Europe in the early Middle Ages thought that all Vikings would be tough opponents in battle. But the berserkers, a group of Dane warriors known for their drug-fueled crazes, were the most dangerous Norsemen. Berserkers charged into battle without armor when they got into their famous rages. Those who weren't killed by enemy arrows usually tore their enemies to pieces in their fits of bloodlust. They ran forward like dogs or wolves. One historian from the time said, they bit their shields and were as strong as bears or wild oxen. Some people would even wear tunics made of animal skins when they were angry, thinking that the shirts or circers helped them connect with the spirit of their god Odin. Number 3. Who wants to live forever? The most dependable warriors of Emperor Cyrus the Great, who ruled Persia in the 6th century BCE, were called the Immortals. Unlike the bulk of the empire army, which was largely made up of people called upon to serve during wartime, the Immortals were a permanent standing force comprised of exactly 10,000 heavy infantrymen. Each soldier was dressed in a long robe over scale armor and had a bow, a short sword, and a spear with a silver butt spike. Immortals were expected to die without hesitation for the emperor, but being a part of a legendary group did have its perks. Soldiers were only given the best rations, and they were also showered with gold jewelry and cared for by a rolling caravan of comfort women while on campaign. Even though they were known to be scary, the Immortals got more than they bargained for at the Battle of Thermopylae in 480 BCE. Although the unit won in the end, it sustained horrific casualties over the 3-day battle with the Greeks. Number 2. The Companions. Alexander the Great is known for making one of the most powerful empires in history, but he might not have been able to do it without the companion cavalry or the hetairoi. The companions were almost all Macedonian nobles, and they charged into battle in wedge formations that were almost impossible to stop. Their famous shock and awe attacks seemed to come out of nowhere and usually went after the enemy's undefended rear echelons. Most of the time, a surprise attack by the hetairoi was enough to scatter a whole Persian army. In return for their services, a grateful Alexander provided the 2,600-man companion cavalry with the best weaponry, armor, and horses. Now, before we tell you what our top pick is, please give the video a big thumbs up and share it with your friends. Now that we're done with that, let's see which airline came out on top. Number 1. Enter the ninja. The ninjas of feudal Japan might be the best example of what special forces would be like in the past. The legendary fighters were experts at covert operations like infiltration, sabotage, disguise, and killing. The sneaky killers, who were also called shinobi, did their best work during Japan's Warring States period in the 15th century when they worked as spies and hit and run raiders for the different sides. Unlike the samurai class, which emphasized a more honorable and gentlemanly way of fighting, ninjas literally fought from the shadows. They were trained to look like monks and merchants or blend in with the terrain if necessary. There were swords, spikes, blowguns, poison, and even explosives among their weapons. In history, there have been many powerful empires, and each of them won on the battlefield thanks to a group of elite warriors who made their enemies afraid. That was it for today's video, guys. Which ancient military unit did you like the most? Let us know in the comments. We will see you in our next video. Thanks for watching.